What is going on, you guys? I'm back again with another video, and today's topic, some of you have requested, you've direct messaged me, you've left me comments in the videos. Today we're going to be talking about how to burn belly fat and my top tips on what you can do to burn that stubborn fat. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about burning belly fat. Now this is a common kind of question that I get is, how do I burn fat from my belly? How do I burn fat from my chest? You know, all of these kind of problem areas or spot areas that we tend to hold fat. For men, it's usually our stomachs, our chests and our lower back. For the females, it's mainly legs, thighs. These are common problem areas that so many people tend to store fat. And I want to break it to you guys. We cannot actually spot reduce fat. However, that is not to say it is impossible to lose fat from those areas. What we want to do is we want to try and get into a caloric deficit, so we are burning fat everywhere. So our body's not going to go, right, we want to burn fat from our stomach, so let's take it from there. It's going to take it from everywhere when we are dieting down and when we are trying to lose body weight. So just bear that in mind, guys. I know probably a lot of you tend to have stubborn areas. For me, it was my stomach, but what we want to do is we want to play the long game. We don't want to quickly get rid of something without understanding why it's there in the first place. So let me show you a little example of how I managed to get my stomach after I lost the weight from this to this. And this took me a couple of months of doing some bulking and cutting cycles, or body recomping. Now, there was a couple of things that I needed to do in order to make sure that I was going to make progress with this, and that was building a solid foundation of muscle mass. What the solid foundation of muscle mass gave me was an increased total daily energy expenditure. I do have a couple of videos on this as well, so that I was burning much more calories throughout the day, and therefore my body was burning much more fat in the process. So let's talk about what causes belly fat and why it's there. So for me, I had a very, very poor response to insulin. So when I was having high sugary foods, the first thing that would happen is I would feel tired and I would feel bloated, and I just felt like I couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. And it's because my body wasn't responding to insulin or the rise in blood sugar that well. One of the biggest tips I can give you guys is first thing in the morning when we wake up, our cortisol levels are at their peak, they're at their highest. A lot of you tend to probably have breakfast cereals first thing in the morning or toast, so it's a relatively higher carbohydrate source of food. Now what this is going to do is first thing in the morning, it's going to spike your insulin up and therefore inhibit fat burning during that time. I don't know if any of you have had like really little sleep and then you just wake up and you crave all kinds of sugary foods. It's usually down to your cortisol levels being raised. So one of the things we're going to do to combat that is I want you to go for a higher fat, higher protein breakfast in the morning. What this is going to do is you're going to have the protein there to help spare the muscle mass, and also it's going to teach your body to use fat for fuel, and we're not going to spike our insulin from the added carbohydrates in the morning. So that's going to be tip number one. Now, if we look at the grand picture of things, if we are in a deficit for the day, it doesn't necessarily matter about insulin spikes, but for the majority of you who haven't tracked your nutritional intake before, I would say the best thing you can do is eliminate carbs from your breakfast and opt for higher protein and a higher fat breakfast as well. So what I would say is, for every single meal that you guys have, we want to try and get plenty of fiber. So plenty of vegetables, plenty of greens. I recommend around 10 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories. What this is going to do is it's going to kind of negate any of the kind of insulin response that you're going to get from having carbohydrates in your diet. Like I said, I know you guys, I've spoke to you guys before about the keto diet and low carb dieting. Sometimes it's not for everyone. But if you are doing a higher carb diet, please make sure that you are getting the adequate fiber in there, so you're not having a massive rise in blood sugar and then kind of having those peaks and troughs to where you're going to kind of feel like you're craving all the sorts of bad food. And tip number 3, I want you guys to track your nutritional intake. So find out what your total daily expenditure is, find out how many calories you need per day to lose weight, so you're burning more than what you're currently doing along with your exercise regime. I'm gonna put loads of calculators down below, and so those are gonna be my 3 tips for burning body fat. Also, I'm gonna pop in another one, so we're gonna go 4 tips. Make sure when you're doing cardio, I would say the best way to burn body fat with cardio is doing high intensity interval training. So I'll give you an example of what I do. Is I use the recumbent bike or the seated bike, and I'll start off by warming up for 5 minutes. I'll pop the bike on a resistance of 5 and I'll pedal like that for 30 seconds. I'll then take it right the way up to level 15 and go max effort for 30 seconds as well, and I'll repeat that for a total of 10 to 15 minutes. By the end of that, you are destroyed, but you have worked much harder than what you would have done if you would have spent 20, 30 minutes on the treadmill, just kind of plodding along. So I definitely recommend HIIT training. 1 for the EPOC benefits, and 2, just so you get that extra bit of expenditure as well. So I hope this video has managed to help you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment box below. Give me a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, if these tips helped you. And if you guys would like to see any other videos, please feel free to leave a comment in the box below. And it's been a pleasure as always, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and this is Nathan signing out. Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Nathan Priestley, and a lot of you guys requested, you wanted to see a full day of eating. What I'm currently eating to go through this body fat kind of stage that I'm taking with my training now. So this is the first week that I'm going to be doing my dieting phase. Now, I am doing a ketogenic diet again after having a break for around 2 years or so. The reason being is I just fancied a change from, I was doing